of the Snake in Mind and also the founder of the Alcohol Experiment, alcoholexperiment.com, a free 30-day challenge to interrupt your patterns. And anyway, today I have a question from Kay. We're going to call her Kay for privacy, but she says, I wanted your advice on this. I've been alcohol-free since January 1st. It's been positively amazing life change. However, I haven't told anyone except my husband, and he's been helping me fake it in front of our drinking friends and family. It's good, but I fear that it's not going to be a long-term solution for everyone for several reasons. Problem one, my whole family drinks a lot. I tell them I quit, they're going to think something truly tragic happened. That's sad, but I truly don't think they would believe me if I just tell them the truth, that I was drinking too much and too often, a series of bad decisions, no big rock bottom moment, and I decided to try the other way, and I figured out life is blissfully better. Problem number two, I've created a persona for 25 years as the friend who will always drink with you. My friends pretty much count on me to be the one to have a drink with them. Lots of drinks if needed. Somehow I feel like I'm letting them down by not quitting. Problem number three is I still crave the socialization of the type of moms who bond around raising children over a glass of wine or mom's night out. And I'm new to my town, so I'm just making friends, and now I'm totally unsure of where I fit in. And problem number four, and if I'm honest, probably the biggest, I was totally judgy about other people who didn't drink when I was the drinker. I was comfortable about them. I didn't trust them. I feel like I get that vibe from others now, even though I totally deserve it, if I get that vibe, I'm going to crumble. I figured out I'm not going back. I've been so much better wife, mother, and person around. I feel like I've been graced with the keys to true happiness, but I now feel like I'm backed into this corner. These issues have been the things that have caused me to consider breaking my alcohol-free streak and entertain trying to drink socially, which I know won't work. Any advice is appreciated. So first of all, in terms of people not believing you, they're not going to believe you at first. They will not believe you at first. And if they think that something tragic or bad happened, and that's what they have to tell themselves, in order to make peace with the fact that you're not drinking because it is so countercultural not to drink, then that's what they're going to have to tell themselves. Guess what happens? People didn't believe me at first. They didn't believe I would do it. They didn't believe, they thought maybe I was hiding something, that there was some dark past that I wasn't telling them about. But I'm a fairly transparent person, so they ultimately thought that that wasn't true. But now, so many people in my life actually have become alcohol-free because guess what? You are not going to convince them with your words. You're going to convince them with your actions. But right now, you're not owning your actions, so you're not giving them a chance to be convinced, right? And I think that's really, really important. So that's kind of problem number one. Problem number two about creating this persona for 25 years, I was that person. I was the person who would always drink with you. I was the first person pouring the drinks. I was the last person pouring the drinks. I was drinking more than anybody else. And I had a friend tell me, after I stopped drinking, it was almost 2 years before she ended up calling me on the phone, and she used to come over a lot, and she goes, I just didn't know who we would be without margaritas. And ironically, this is somebody I've known since kindergarten. And I was like, wait a second, like we've known each other since kindergarten. You know, margaritas weren't the central thing. Alcohol is not the central thing. Our minds trick us. We tell ourselves these stories. We get stuck in these stories that we believe that alcohol is the central thing. Alcohol is not the central thing. And so you're not letting people down by quitting. And if you still show up, and guess what I do? I show up. I have a big, huge smile on my face. Before I go out in the early days, I would visualize showing up and just having a great time and laughing hysterically with a cup of iced tea in my hand. When you visualize stuff like that, it starts to happen. And you show up and you have more fun than anybody in the room. Everybody else starts to realize that alcohol isn't the central thing. And that's a really, really, really cool thing. Okay, problem number three, we're telling ourselves that we're not strong enough to be moms without a drink in our hand. We've been strong enough to be kick-ass moms for millennia. We are amazing moms, no alcohol needed. And so this is probably the most important place you can connect and, you know, pour yourself a cup of tea while they're pouring their glass of wine and be there for them. This isn't about you. They're pouring the wine because they're stressed, because they're overextended, and the wine is making it worse. You're in a place now where you can give back, right? You can show up to these mommy play days. Oh no, I don't drink anymore. You know, it was something I decided it was taking my power from me. I didn't want to give my power to alcohol anymore. And so you show up to these play dates, or maybe don't even say anything about it, just don't drink. And all of a sudden be there for them, be the support, be the person. Not only will you get filled up because you will be just not, your loneliness goes away. If you need to not be lonely, give to other people. If you need support, support other people. If you need love, love other people. That's just how it works. all of a sudden you're going to help to break this very tragic reality that moms in our culture, we have started to believe that we need wine to be amazing moms. We were amazing moms for millennia before we started drinking wine at the levels we are now. It has gone up, not 10%, not 20%, not 30%, 60, 70% is how much drinking and drinking disorders have gone up with moms. And moms all over the country are waking up and being like, wait a second. Because when you drink as a mom and you decide, I need alcohol to get through my day, you tell yourself you're weak. And what does that do? It means that your power is being given away to some liquid in a glass. And so what moms need, we don't need another judgy mom coming and saying, oh, I don't drink. What we need is somebody to come sit next to us, pour us that next glass of wine, and be there with compassion and help us understand that we don't have to be doing what we're doing. We just have told ourselves a story that it's necessary. Wine is not necessary to mom friendships. Mom friendships are some of the most beautiful friendships on the planet. They're how this planet runs in some regards, and alcohol is not necessary. But sometimes you just have to be there with, again, just your actions, not your words, in order for that to make sense. And then problem number 4, and honestly the biggest, I was totally judgy about people who didn't drink. Me too, super judgy. I don't trust them if they don't drink. I remember saying that more than once. You might get that vibe from others. I certainly did. And you're not going to crumble because the 2 cents is like, my 2 cents, you have to look at what's really important to you. The person you used to associate as, is that you or is this you? Are you now this person who feels great in your life, who's making these changes, who's being strong as heck, who's going against the grain, who's living in the minority? Yes, that's who you are, right? And you need to own that, because once you own that, you'll start to realize that your fears are mostly unfounded and you're going to be embraced by everyone who truly loves you. And the people who are judgy, they're maybe not your people, and that's okay. Not everybody is your people. I'm learning that every single day. Not everybody is your people, and that's okay. But if you continue to fake it, as you say, you're never going to give people around you a chance to surprise you. And by definition, you're going to hold everyone in your life at arm's length, and you're going to prevent strong, intimate friendships, mom relationships, because you're going to hold back the truth of who you are. So you're not going to. This is such a good question. Thank you so much for asking. Thank you, everyone, for joining in. And again, it's Annie Grace, author of This Naked Mind, creator of the Alcohol Experiment, free. If you haven't tried it yet, alcoholexperiment.com. Love to see you in. This has been Annie Grace with This Naked Mind podcast. Thank you so much for listening. You can learn more at thisnakedmind.com. And please remember to rate, review, and subscribe, as it really helps us spread the word.